Weights have been lifted. Sprints have been run. Preparation for today's game is history. It's time to get it done. You're listening on MichiganSportsRadio.com.
Four wrestling teams have new trophies to add to their school display, and an unbelievable story of a wrestler who accomplished something much bigger than a win on the mat. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. Midland's Wilson Shinsky finished his senior season on the wrestling mat with a 21-11 record and an appearance in the Division I regionals. But none of the wins were probably the highlight of his season. That's because on the way to his regional bouts in Heartland on Saturday, February 18th, Shinsky and his dad, Steve, stopped their vehicle on I-75 to pull a man from a burning vehicle and helped resuscitate him. It's a remarkable story of being in the right place at the right time, as Wilson plans to study nursing in college, and Dad Steve is a retired Midland firefighter. It didn't take long for them to see the driver was unconscious behind the wheel and in need of desperate help. They administered CPR until an off-duty paramedic arrived with an AED. After a shock to the driver, the monitor showed heart activity. By then, more help arrived and the driver was taken by ambulance to the hospital. At that point, the Shinskys continued to Heartland so Wilson could wrestle his regional matches. For more on this amazing story and to see a photo of Steve and Wilson with the driver they helped save, please visit MHSAA.com. Game balls this week go to Vanessa Rodriguez of Ann Arbor father Gabriel Richard. She scored 23 in a 53-52 overtime win over Detroit Renaissance and a battle of the Catholic League champ versus the Detroit Public School League champ. To Hart senior Parker Hovey, he scored 24 points in a win over Mason County Central. The win gives Hart its first boys basketball title in 60 years. And the Mackinac City Twins, Larissa and Lars Huffman, they both went over 1,000 career points just 5 days apart. Lars for the boys team, Larissa for the girls.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Yep, nearly 80% of students who fill out the FAFSA may be eligible. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with registered official Paige Winnie.
What happens if a player bowls out of turn during a Baker game? First, what's a Baker game? That's when 5 members of a team alternate bowling frames. The number 1 bowler goes in frames 1 and 6 and on down the line. If a bowler goes out of turn during MHSAA competition in accordance with USVC Rule 8, Item D, a dead ball would be declared. The delivery does not count. The pins must be respotted, and the correct bowler is then required to continue play. While a recent change to NCAA bowling rules would penalize bowling out of order on the wrong lane with a 0 for the attempt starting with the first infraction, the NCAA rule is not used for MHSAA competition. Instead, the frame is reset, and the correct bowler is free to continue.
Thanks, Paige. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, go to the MHSAA website now to register. Team wrestling finals were this past weekend at the Wings Event Center in Kalamazoo, and 4 big-time wrestling programs took home the top prize. In Division 4, Hudson captured its second straight team title, defeating Bronson 58-12 in the finals. Hudson knocked off Iron Mountain in the quarters and Martin Climax Scots in the semis, registering an impressive 17 pins total over the weekend. In Division 3, Dundee won its 6th straight title and 14th overall by beating Whitehall 60-18. Dundee advanced to the finals by defeating Hart and Constantine. In Division 2, Lowell has now won a decade's worth of team titles in a row. Yes, Lowell won its 10th straight team title, knocking off Goodrich 42-18. The Red Arrows beat Bloomfield Hills' Brother Rice and Gaylord in the quarters and semis. And in Division I, after 2 straight runner-up finishes, Detroit Catholic Central is back on top. They outpointed Heartland 41-31 in an exciting final after beating Warren De La Salle Collegiate and Romeo to get to the final match. For full results, recaps, and more, check out MHSAA.com. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll see you next week.
Timeline to Gable. Gable straight to the basket. Elevates. Slams it down over top of Arbaugh. Oh my goodness, the tomahawk jam.
The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star in all the years.
Driver pounds the rock, looking for a passing lane. Got some motion going, got a right corner for Haglund. Pounded defensively by Dudley. Step back 3 for the lead. Buries it pure. Kobe Haglund, 40-39 West Ottawa. A step back triple. Absolutely cold-blooded from Haglund. Giving on to Titus. Titus angles, pull-up shot for the lead. Good. Brady Titus, a scream to the heavens after he knocks it down. And the Hudsonville Eagles are state champions for the first time in school history. They bob at center court. Head coach Casey Glass, in his 12th season, has taken the Eagles to the mountaintop. They are state champions. And it's the ultimate revenge for Tri-Unity. Another state championship for Coach Keeler's squad. The defenders of Tri-Unity Christian, state champions in Division 4. 56-45 the final. This is March on MGN. Nate Dreyer with you from one of the best venues in West Michigan for basketball. It is the Holland Dutch Dome, and this is Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio and March on MGN. It is the start of the boys' journey to the Breslin Center, as we have March on MGN hitting the boys MHSAA basketball tournament. We're in Division 1, and we have the start of our week-long District 11 coverage right here on Game Night. We'll be live here tonight. We'll have both semis on Wednesday from Zeeland East. We'll have the championship game on Friday as well, along with all the other great coverage on Michigan Sports Radio all week long. What a week it's going to be, and it all starts right here. It's our continuous Grandville Bulldogs coverage on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio, as they are at the Dutch Dome to take on the Dutch tonight of Holland, and what will be a very interesting matchup for certain on the season and on the night. For the Grandville Bulldogs, they are looking for a little bit of March and a little bit of district redemption, as the Bulldogs have just found their way onto the floor now to continue their warm-ups. They came all the way after 45 years since the last time they won a district championship to the district title game 1 year ago on their home floor. They fell late in that one to West Ottawa. Now they are looking for their revenge with a lot of that same core back and looking to parlay a solid OK Red and solid season on the whole at 14-8 in third place, and the other tough OK Red into a district championship. For Holland, this is a team 3-19 on the season. They certainly have had their struggles, but they're the kind of team that can make a mess of the game a little bit. They certainly can shoot from three as well. They can turn the game into a little bit of difficulty sometimes for their opponents, and for that reason, you have to look to this Holland team as one that cannot be overlooked. No team in the playoffs can, of course, be overlooked, but this team in particular can do some unique things, slow the game down, and create the kind of contest that can make a favorite like the Bulldogs tonight a little bit uncomfortable. We got a lot to get to here on the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. First, we're going to step aside, and then I have to thank Tyson Mann, Grandville's senior guard, for coming on the show with us for today's game. I was able to have a good chat with him earlier on. So Tyson Mann coming up. He'll help preview this game, take a look back at the season, and get us rolling from there. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Bates Agency pregame show.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Can you identify your number one personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FIN.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show and game night on Michigan Sports Radio. Joined now by Grandville senior guard Tyson Mann. And Tyson, first off, thanks for your time. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. It's always our pleasure to have you on. And, you know, you look at right now, heading into the playoffs and heading into March, I think the Bulldogs are about as hot as you guys have been all season long now. 4 wins in a row. The rivalry win over Rockford, senior night win, emotional win over another rival in Byron Center. Tell me kind of where the momentum's at and where the team confidence level is at right now. Probably at an all-time high going into March.
We're feeling really good right now. The 4 straight wins that we've just had are really, really good momentum for us going into playoffs. And we feel confident with where we're at right now. We're starting to see things like come together. We're starting to see what Coach Dez's coaching points have been. We're starting to see us really respond to those well and start putting them into the action in the games. So we're all feeling really good about the start of the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, besides the team, I think you as an individual, you know, I can speak for everyone else watching. We've watched your game raised to an even new level in the last, you know, kind of during this win streak and even before. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but you have to be north of 15, 16, 17 points per game, you know, scoring at multiple levels, running the offense, been, you know, great on defense as well. Tell me about your personal confidence, kind of what you found in your game coming down the stretch within the system as well.
Personally, my confidence is really good right now. And I think one of the things that's making it really well is, like, I'm starting to be able to rely on all my teammates, like, very consistently. And sometimes at the beginning of the season, more towards the beginning, I would feel like I wasn't as confident there, but now I feel super confident in all my teammates, and I've grown to trust them a lot, and that's helped me be able to play my game as well as just our team be able to play theirs as well.
Yeah, I fully agree. That actually blends right into a perfect segue to my next question. You look at the momentum for the team, you look at, you know, those points you're talking about as an individual. Tell me a little bit about the growth of the team. Both ends of the floor, guys stepping into new roles. You know, you did lose quite a few starting pieces, some other younger guys coming in as well. But tell me about that growth of the team throughout the seasons, both ends of the floor, what you've seen as one of the senior leaders and guys kind of filling into those roles and all gaining confidence in each other.
I've definitely seen a ton of growth. We have Quentin at, I think, the front of it all being just consistent and showing up every game. And then we have Cam, who's practically unstoppable and is an insane defender. And we have Logan Stockwell, who he's always a threat, so you gotta watch out for him. And then we have Drew Hungerford, who's stepping up right now, I'd say these last couple games, and he's had a really good last couple games, and he's really helping us both offensively and defensively. He's a really smart player. And then we have Corbin Heckman, Ryder Haight, defensive guys. Corbin's a really good offensive guy. We just have a lot of pieces that are starting to put together really well.
Yeah, totally agree. Tell me a little bit about playing for, you know, Coach Young. You've been here for both of his seasons. You've been up on varsity. You know, Chandler and I talk about it every game, how impressed we are of him. First off, what he gets out of defenses is absolutely unmatched, but you're seeing the offense come around as well, the energy of the team there. Tell me a little bit what it's like to play for Coach Young, because it just seems like a blast and an incredible guy to play for.
He's the best. So when he came, it was a complete shift of how I'd played basketball during basketball season. Before it had always been play basketball during the off season or during the season, and then during the off season we'd have some stuff that we do, and then there'd be like AAU, but other than that, not really anything for school. He has shifted basketball to where it is our lives right now, and we are all in with him. And I think one of the things that I really like is he has the whole team. We don't just want to win for ourselves, but we really want to win for him and the coaches too, because we know how bad they want it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, I have to say, personally, I love basketball teams that they play with grit, they play with tenacity, and they're just mean. And you can see it in your team. I mean, each and every time you guys go out there, even if the offense, like, it's one of those teams where even if you guys are struggling offensively, even if you have a game where you shoot 30% and you only score 45, you know that you guys aren't out of it, because there's just that mindset and that tenacity defensively that is preached in you guys. Tell me a little bit about that, and how that is going to work out so well, obviously, for March as well.
Yeah, so one of the things that Coach Des or the main thing that Des emphasizes is defense and how hard you play. And he's not worried about the offensive end, because if we play defense and we play hard, the offense will come with it. So, and he spends so much time looking at scouts and making scout reports for us. And that's the main thing that he preaches, is to play hard, play defense, and the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you mentioned how basketball has, become this very front of mind primary thing for you and so forth. And I think I heard during the senior night festivities, you're looking at moving on, playing basketball at the next level. I guess you're uncommitted, but tell me a little bit about maybe of some different schools or some different thoughts you have on going ahead next year. Don't want to get ahead of March and don't want to get ahead of this run, but some of what you're looking at for that.
I'm not sure yet. We're still kind of all working that out. We've talked to a few coaches, but not actually as much. And then I'm working with Des with that, and we're going to figure out a plan. So but yeah.
Well, if anyone's listening, if there's any coaches listening to this, I can tell you this much about this young man: not only the work ethic that we've seen on the floor, but smart kid, great to talk to. You can see it in this media stuff. Any coach that's out there, Tyson Mann is your guy. I can say that much for certain. So if there's any coaches that are listening here in the pregame show to this that have been talking and interested in him, I can certainly say this is your guy for the next level. All right, let's take a look at the district. Let's wrap things up. Let's take a look at moving ahead. We'll talk about Holland specifically, but first off, this district. I did a little write-up for Michigan Sports Radio that came out right before this game, and I was just having such a hard time breaking anything down. It is as wide open as ever in this district. A lot of really tough teams. You look at your path, you're likely looking at Zeeland West. You're likely looking at having to beat Hudsonville, Holland first. I mean, not getting too far ahead, but man, this is a pretty traditionally difficult West Michigan or a West Side Ottawa County district.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that like you don't know what's going to happen that night. So it's just the options are all open. Anything can happen. So but for tomorrow we got Holland, and I think their record isn't really as good as they are, and they're really, really deadly from deep, and they can shoot the lights out. So that's our main priority tomorrow, is to limit the amount of threes that they get off. Yeah, no, they're a team. We talk about kind of the tenacity you guys play with. They're very similar. They have the two Van Hecken boys, who obviously come from a great, incredible basketball family in West Michigan, a basketball family that's had some influence in the Grandville program in past years as well. It's going to be a game, I think. Obviously, no game in March can be a look ahead, but has to be one that you guys are going to probably be tested with some of your own tenacity and with some of your play to make sure it all gets put together right. Yeah, we just have to come play hard and not look over them, and we should take care of business.
All right, sounds great. Tyson Mann, Grandville senior guard, joins us here on Game Night. Thanks again, Tyson. Great as always, and good luck out there against Holland.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Our pleasure. Tyson Mann, Grandville senior guard, here on Game Night.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car.
Hey, my car!
And the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
All right, welcome back to the Dutch Dome, the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. Big thanks again to Grandville senior guard Tyson Mann for coming on with us this week. And for tonight's contest, Grandville and Holland here in District 11. Nate Dreyer with you, and a lot still to get to now in terms of let's start breaking down some of the keys, some of the things to look for in tonight's contest. Well, one of the first things that almost always stands out when you're talking about a Grandville basketball game is that of the presence of the big man, Cam Regnerus, the Bulldog 6'8 junior, in the middle of things. And what do the opponents have to try to slow him down? Well, Holland is a team that's a lot smaller on the whole. You look at them, Cameron Ferguson, their senior wing, the tallest listed player in their lineup at 6'3", a couple other guys in the 6'1", 6'2 range. So they're going to be a smaller, more wing, more perimeter-oriented team. They're going to have to try to find a way to shut down Regnerus. I think you can expect doubles. You can expect a lot of fronting the post and trying to deny the ball even getting into Cam. But if the Bulldogs are able to get the ball to Regnerus, if they're able to get him back to the basket with the matchups they want, it could be a really, really big day, one of the biggest days of the year for the terrific Bulldog junior. It was in the midst of one of his hottest stretches of the entire season. 2 of the last 3 games, Cam has gone for 20-plus points. The only game he didn't was that Thornapple Kellogg game where he played a little bit lower minutes on senior night than what we normally have seen the Bulldog junior play. So Regnerus is playing right now as well as he has at any point this season. He has a potentially good matchup. This could be a very, very big night for the Bulldog big man in the middle. Other keys and matchups, you look to the perimeter scoring, you look to what some of the teams bring on the wing and the ball handling. I think Jacob Van Hecken, the terrific 6-foot junior guard and wing for Holland, is certainly the one that is their top scorer, has stepped to the forefront. But Tyson Mann, just talked to him, just mentioned a lot of those different things. He has stepped to the forefront for Grandville. 15 points against Byron Center, had 17 against both Thornapple Kellogg and Jennison. So Tyson also has raised his game as we've gotten down the stretch run of the season. He and Van Hecken will likely be matched up on each other quite a bit. I'll be curious defensively. We might see Logan Stockwell put onto Van Hecken in that matchup. All something we'll be looking for in the first few minutes of this game, certainly. But in terms of top scoring threats from the perimeter, those are the 2 guys to watch for. Youth and bench youth, very big for both of these teams. First off, Holland starts a not off the bench, but in terms of in the starting lineup, one of their freshmen, Keegan Holst, the junior combo guard and shooter, will get into their starting lineup here tonight as a freshman. But also they bring the freshman guard Josiah Van Hecken, Jacob's younger brother, in off the bench as a freshman, and a big kid in terms of his build as a freshman, a stocky, well-built kid with a lot of skill, a lot of ability that comes in. Of course, we know Grandville as well, a little bit older team this year than last year, for example, but still do have the sophomore presence in Hybor coming off of the bench. So a couple of freshmen to watch for Holland, and then the sophomore Hybor. We've seen his minutes kind of up and down throughout the season, but when Hybor's been on, he's gone on these hot streaks where he'll hit 2 to 3 threes and some big-time plays as well throughout the course of the game. Be curious what Coach Young's rotation looks like for the Bulldogs tonight in a playoff game. If you see things get tightened up even more, maybe the sophomore winds up out of the rotation. It might be more of a 6 or 7 man type unit. Holland returning to the floor right now as they'll wrap up their warm-ups, and the Bulldogs will be following shortly. This, of course, is the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. We thank the Bates Agency. We thank Centennial Securities for their presenting sponsorship of Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio and all they do to help keep MGN on the air so we can bring you March on MGN like this. If you missed at the beginning or if you missed on our social media, make sure you follow us at MI Game Night on social media. But all week long, we are here in District 11. We have this contest tonight. We have both semis from Zeeland East on Wednesday, and then we have the championship game from Zeeland East on Friday. So if you're interested in this, up-in-the-air district. Of course, we've got a ton else going on Michigan Sports Radio, but if you're interested in this really up-in-the-air Ottawa County-type area district, we will have coverage all the way through, and it's going to be a ton of fun all week long. As in particular, we're looking to see if the Bulldogs can get some of that revenge and potentially win their first district championship, and I think it is 46 seasons since the last time Grandville won a district championship. They came so close a year ago, ultimately just falling short in that one a year ago. The idea of defense is going to be one that comes to the forefront for both these teams. Both coaches, Coach Thiel for Holland, Coach Young for Grandville, defense-first type of coaches with styles of defense that are somewhat similar in terms of their grinding nature that slow the basketball game down. And for that reason, I think it will be a slower game. It'll be a grinding game. It'll be a game where both teams are trying to maintain possessions and not give possessions away. For that reason, lower scoring game. Even though Grandville obviously comes into this game as the favorite, I think even a well-played game for Grandville won't quite get the spread and the larger scoring gap that you may possibly expect. That is going to keep Holland in the game. Both these teams are lower scoring in general. They keep it lower, especially in the playoffs. We saw what Grandville did under Coach Young last year as things really slowed down in the playoffs, and of course that was very effective for them all the way up until the very end of that West Ottawa contest in the district championship game. Bulldogs back out on the floor as well as they'll wrap up their warm-up. So low-scoring game. May not be a ton of spread in this one. It could be a 40-35 type of contest even, but also we might get surprised. Maybe the Bulldogs get out and run a little bit like they did against the Bulldogs of Byron Center last time out, and it is a little bit higher scoring, a little bit faster type of game on the whole. But like I said, even a well-played game for Grandville, I don't think will be the full spread score of a blowout that you'd expect to see between a 14-8 OK Red team and a 3-19 OK Green team like Holland. It's just going to be a traditional kind of playoff grinding game. Holland does a really good job making a mess of the basketball game. They're very good at forcing turnovers, forcing mistakes in that regard, and that's going to be a critical thing that we are going to be watching for all night long for certain. So then you look at what can Grandville do on the other side to limit Holland's attack. If we know what Holland's going to do messing the game up for Grandville, what can the Bulldogs do? Well, Holland's a team that is pretty deadly. Tyson Mann talked about it during his interview in shooting the basketball. They're pretty efficient from three on the whole. They've got a lot of different guys that attack from the perimeter, not the biggest team, so they look to go from the outside to score. Well, Grandville defensively might be, for my money and for a lot of people's money, I should say, the best team in terms of three-point and perimeter defense maybe in West Michigan. You look at what they do in terms of their man-to-man defense. Look at last time out. Very good shooting Byron Center team. They shot 23% from three. And those type of numbers, sub 20%, sub 30%, sub 25%, are certainly more of the norm than the outlier for Grandville's defense in terms of what their opponents are doing from three. They have been traditionally very excellent. They choke down the perimeter. They forced deep shots. They forced rush shots from deep. So that's a very key thing. Where you normally would look for Holland to be generating their offense, Grandville locking down on the perimeter with their physical man-to-man brand of defensive play. So that certainly is going to be something that you're going to have to keep an eye out for and watch in this contest. All right, let's wrap up the Bates Agency pregame show with some keys to the game. Officials just went by. They're wrapping things up as the teams are also wrapping things up. For Grandville, the first idea is going to be, I think, limiting turnovers, moving the ball efficiently into an efficient scoring offense. We know what the defense can do, and the note for the defense is just do what you do defensively. I think for Grandville is the key there. But on offense, Grandville, Byron Center came away with 10 steals on Thursday. That's really the main reason why that game wound up being as close as it was down the stretch, was because the Grandville Bulldogs turned the ball over as much as they did in that contest. If they limit turnovers, if they are efficient offensively like they can be, like they need to be, that should be a really good marker for the Bulldogs. For Holland, looking for a little bit of max chaos. I think offensively they want to stay smart. They have to stay red hot shooting, and that's a tough key to make because sometimes shooting's there, sometimes it's not. They have to shoot the ball very efficiently, and they have to force those turnovers. They have to force a little bit of chaos. They have to make the Bulldogs uncomfortable in March, and that, of course, is always what winds up coming to the forefront. Holland and Grandville, district quarterfinal on deck. This has been the Bates Agency pregame show. We're going to step aside. We will be right back with the starting lineups and some playoff basketball on March on MGN.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. But you've got to go forward fast. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it. and move all of us forward.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
All right, how about that? That's Holland sophomore Isaiah Cisneros had the electric guitar out for a really sweet national anthem, and we are just about ready to go here from the Dutch Dome. Nate Dreyer with you here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. It's the start of the boys tournament here on March on MGN. What a March we've already had. The final game of the regular season between Grandville and Byron Center was a thriller. And then if you were with us Friday, the Hudsonville girls had their 8-year district championship streak snapped in that game to Jenison, and one of the upsets of March already. Let's see what we have in store tonight. Grandville, the traveling team in uniform and in scoreboard tonight under head coach Desmond Young in his second season. The Bulldogs start the senior guard Tyson Mann alongside the senior guard Quentin Hendrickson. Also tonight, the 6-foot senior Drew Hungerford draws in to the Bulldogs starting lineup. The senior wing Logan Stockwell starts up front, and of course the junior center Cam Regneris will get the jump for the Bulldogs tonight. For Holland and the 3-19 Dutch, head coach Mason Thiel will send out the 6'3 senior wing Cam Ferguson alongside the junior guard Amari Peak. The freshman guard Keegan Holst draws into their starting lineup. Also on the wing will be their 6-foot junior guard Jacob Van Hecken, and the 6'1 sophomore Arthur Powell draws into the Dutch's starting lineup. Holland home white uniforms, red trimming down the side, numbers in red, Holland across the chest in black. Granville, those well-known traveling maroon uniforms. Granville in script across the chest. Numbers are in gray with black and gray trimming down the side. The announcement of Cam Regneris, the Bulldog Jr., certainly looking for a big one here this evening. We'll see what he can get going in his second run as a junior here through the MHSAA playoffs. All right, Coach Young, Coach Thiel, get one final word in, look on, and we are just about ready to go. Holland will move left to right across your radio dial, and Grandville moves right to left. The floor light colored here at Holland with the big Dutch logo in the center. The entirety of the inside of the three-point arc is painted in red minus the key. That is the floor color. If you've never been here, it's one of the coolest venues in West Michigan in the state. It is a true dome here at the Holland Dutch Dome, seating all the way around, and we're ready to go for this Monday night. Powell will have the jump on Regnerus. Regnerus tips it back to Quentin Hendrickson, right to left over the timeline. He takes it, and away we go. Holland opens in man-to-man defensively. Handoff for Tyson Mann on the right wing, two-hand feed left side to Stockwell. Jabbing and working, defended by Jacob Van Hecken. Drive down the right side, cut off at the block, fed left wing onto Hendrickson, able to get it down to Cam Regnerus. Regnerus bounces into the lane and scores off the window with two hands. Good start for the Bulldogs. They lead it 2-0 with 30 seconds gone. Peak faking a handoff left elbow, give it top of the key to Ferguson. Ferguson whips left wing for Van Hecken. Jacob drives, cut off free throw line, handoff for the freshman Keegan Holst. He'll throw it with two hands, left corner to Omari Peak. Peak drives into the lane, stops, turning on Hendrickson. Gives out right wing for Van Hecken. Van Hecken jabs, drives on Stockwell down the left side of the lane, exit pass up top for Peak. Peak drives, lost the handle and regathers and feeds right side to Powell. The sophomore backing into Regnerus. Right corner for Van Hecken. Van Hecken all the way up top to Ferguson, now swung left wing to Holst as they'll restart the offense. First minute is gone, 2-0 Grandville. Right corner, it's Powell. Right wing for Peak. Peak defended by Hendrickson, drives down the right side, stops short right corner, feeds right wing for Powell. Long possession continues. Powell bouncing into the lane, feeds right wing back for Holst. Holst across the floor, stopped up by Tyson Mann. Given up top here for Ferguson, now left wing Van Hecken. A minute off this possession clock. Van Hecken, right wing, thought about a step back three, instead hands off for Peak to the top of the key. Peak driving down the left side, cut off left block, kicks up top Van Hecken. Van Hecken, crossover right elbow, takes it out behind the arc. They've taken well over a minute off the clock on this possession. 2-0 Grandville. Thrown left wing for Holst. Left corner on to Ferguson. Ferguson cut off by Tyson Mann, now turns the corner, drives, right hand shot blocked by a combination of Tyson and Regnerus, and Mann will take it down the floor. Mann stopping in the short right corner, locked up by Van Hecken. Right side, Stockwell, deep catch and shoot three. Good! Logan Stockwell right down the hatch. The Bulldogs efficient early. They lead at 5-0 with 2 minutes gone. Grandville back into the man-to-man physical defense. Peak feeding free throw line Powell. Powell starts a right-hand dribble, hands off for Peak right wing, bouncing around a screen to the free throw line. Crosses, backing, fadeaway shot over top of Stockwell is strong. Leaping rebound is down to Cam Regnerus, and Tyson Mann with it. 5:43 in the first. Mann pushes right corner to Hungerford. Hungerford, right elbow, Regnerus. Throws left wing, Stockwell. Cycled left corner, catch and shoot three. Hendrickson falls short off the front rim, but a rebound down to a sprinting Hungerford. Force feed into the paint. Regnerus turns, push shot, rolls out, no good. Rebound down to the Dutch. Omari Peak, the junior, to run it right side. Feeding a cutting Van Hecken, whips the hands free, lost the handle on the floor. Powell ties up with Mann. Powell got it out of there. Left corner for Ferguson. Launches a high arcing three and rattles it down, and the Dutch are on the board with 5:11 in the first. Bulldogs now will settle things down a little bit here with Tyson Mann right to left over the timeline. They lead by 2. Mann skip pass left side Hungerford. Force feeding Regnerus. Tipped out of there by Ferguson and stolen away by Powell. Omari Peak up the right side of the floor. Driving to the basket. Got away from Mann. Two-hand feed off the window and good. Holland has put up 5 of their own and out of the game at 5 here. 4:44 and less in the first. Stockwell right wing hit the triple a moment ago. He's locked up defensively by the freshman Holst. Dribbles top of the key. Holst pokes it out of there to the top of the key. Stockwell gets it back, skips down right block for Regnerus. Swung back up top. Stockwell catch and shoot three. Off the front rim, goes straight down, no good. And the rebound on to Van Hecken. Holland can take their first lead right here. Van Hecken cut off right elbow by Hendrickson, keeps the dribble. He'll reset it here as Coach Theo gets the word in. Right corner for Peak, defended by Tyson Mann. Peak spinning around a Powell screen, cut off right block, feeds right elbow to Powell on the jump. He'll back into Cam Regnerus, turning into the double team. Fader high off the glass and good, and Holland has put up 7 unanswered to take a 7-5 lead. Tyson Mann puts the left hand up to slow down things a little bit and reset the Bulldog attack. Mann around the screen, bouncing down the right side of the lane. Right hand reaching shot off the window and good. Tyson ties the game back up for the Bulldogs with 3:45 in the first. Omari Peak, right wing, defended here by Mann. Throws it 2 hands, right corner. It goes through the hands of Van Hecken into the Grandville bench. And the Bulldogs take back over. 3:41 in the first. Looked like a really terrific start for Grandville, going up 5-0 with great defensive and offensive possessions. Holland then scores 7 in a row. Mann gets one more back. We're all knotted at 7 with 3.5 to go in the first. Drew Hungerford, right wing, defended here by Holst. Throws right corner for Mann. Man up top, Hungerford. Swung left wing, Hendrickson. Extra pass to the corner. Catch and shoot three. Stockwell got another one. 6 early for Stockwell, 10-7. 3:19 and less in the first. I was looking at Stockwell before the game during the warm-ups. He looked absolutely locked in for the Bulldogs, and he has come out red hot early. They're back up 3. Van Hecken feeds right corner to Powell. To Peak. Launches a long 2 off the back rim, no. High leaping rebound is down to Quentin Hendrickson up the near side of the floor, right to left. Thrown right side. Stockwell thought about another 3. Shimmies into the lane. Jump pass. Regnerus jumps and dunks, but a foul is called on the floor first. That is our first foul of the game. It's on Holst. That is his first as well. 2:58 to go in the first. It'll be a right side inbound here. Quentin Hendrickson from baseline right to throw in. Right corner for Stockwell. Up fake. Dribble drive into the lane. Stops with an up fake. Right hand floater rolls home. What a start for Stockwell. He has 8. It's 12-7 Grandville with 2:45 in the first. Omari Peak throws right side to Ferguson. Ferguson backing, cut off left elbow, feeds right wing, catch and shoot 3. Van Hecken goes off the connector, no. Rebound tipped up, secured by Powell, kicks left corner, catch and shoot 3 for Holst. Off the front rim, no, and Tyson Mann skies through a pair of Dutch to grab the rebound and throws it over the timeline to a sprinting Hendrickson. Hendrickson stops and feeds Regnerus, turns against 2 defenders and scores off the window. 4 for Regnerus, timeout Coach Thiel, and Grandville has doubled up. Holland with a quick 7 or making 9-0 run of their own. We will be right back here on Game Night.
Cornerstone University.
The professors are very open to helping whenever they can.
Academic excellence, character-driven athletics, Christ-centered community involvement.
Cornerstone has been a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader, just being able to approach people and be warm and welcoming and hospitable.
Experience it for yourself. Attend a Golden Eagle Day at Cornerstone for a taste of campus life and the chance to meet faculty and staff. To arrange a visit for your high school junior or senior, go to cornerstone.edu. Cornerstone University. Build a life that matters.
A sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make your community a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
Welcome back to Holland. Ryder Haight, Timo Phillips in for the respective teams, along with Josiah Van Hecken, the freshman for the Dutch. Left corner, Holland has it, and they'll swing it right side here to Jacob Van Hecken. Van Hecken poked out of there by Mann, out of bounds. It will stay with the Dutch. 2:01 in the first, 14-7 Grandville, a 9-0 run right now for the Bulldogs. Holland had their own 7-0 run that they threw in there with their scoring. Baseline right inbound, Josiah Van Hecken, the freshman, to throw this one in. Looking for the inbound lane, skips it left block to Noah Kelly, the junior, who also is out there for the first time. Kelly to the left corner, feeds left side. Catch and shoot 3 from the wing. Timo Phillips, high arcing shot, rattles home, and the Dutch back within 4. Phillips, the senior, coming off the bench and knocking one down. 1:45 to go. Tyson Mann with a right-hand dribble calls out the play for the Bulldog offense left wing. Loosely watched defensively by Van Hecken. Crosses right side, feeds to Hungerford. Kicks left corner, Haight. Back to Drew Hungerford, left wing. Skip pass, right corner to a driving Hendrickson. Gets free. Reverse layup is good. Hendrickson got all alone on the baseline drive. 16-10. 90 seconds to go in the first. District quarterfinal. Peek to the top of the key. Watched defensively here by Mann. Right side, holding backwards the junior guard, Kelly, hands off for Jacob Van Hecken, top of the key, drives down the left side of the lane, turns, gives up top now for Peak. Peak bouncing into Tyson Mann, and a foul is called on the Bulldogs senior man. That is his first and the first of the game on Grandville. Physical game being allowed so far in this one. Logan Stockwell, who took a quick breather, will come back in now as Hungerford will take a seat. So far, Grandville has gone 6 deep into their rotation. Baseline right inbound, Jacob Van Hecken to throw in. Got a right corner to Phillips, right side to Josiah. Van Hecken throws up top for Noah Kelly. Kelly drives down the left side on Regnerus. A foul called on the floor against Cam. That is the first on the Bulldog Junior, the second on the Dogs. 1:01 in the first, 16-10 Grandville. It'll be a baseline right inbound right here. Again, Jacob Van Hecken, the junior, the Dutch's leading scorer, has not scored yet. Will lob it in up top here for Phillips. Stared at the basket, throws right side for Peak. Bounces around a screen, now picked up defensively by Stockwell. Peak hesitates left, drives right, stops free throw line, kicks left wing for Josiah. Van Hecken driving, stopping the lane, throws left side to Peak. All alone, puts up a 3, spins it home. Another triple for Holland. 5 for Omari Peak, they're within 3. It was a critical thing we talked about in the pregame show. Tyson Mann talked about it. This Holland team really can shoot the basketball, and now they're going to a little bit of a matchup zone look. Right corner here for Stockwell. Thrown right side for Hendrickson. Swung left wing to Mann. Mann driving on Jacob Van Hecken. Lost the handle. Van Hecken reaches. He and Mann go crashing down to the floor. A held ball is called on the tie-up. Alternating possession goes Holland's way. 24.4 in the first. Another fight back here from this Holland team, and they can potentially tie this game to close the first quarter. All right, Omari Peak, the leading scorer for Holland, will start the offense. He has 5, and he will take his time getting over the timeline. We go inside 17 seconds here in the first quarter. 16-13 Grandville. Right wing Van Hecken has it poked out of bounds into the Grandville bench by Hendrickson. Holland keeps it right side inbound. Timo Phillips was set to throw it in. Now instead it will be Omari Peak putting this one on in for the Dutch. Home white jerseys for Holland, traveling maroons for Grandville. Peak skips for Phillips. Hand off again for Peak. Top of the key, defended by Tyson Mann with 9. Peak crossing over. Top of the key, backs it in between the rings with 5. Peak bounding down the left side, stops, gives up top for a Timo Phillips. Deep 3 off the connector, no, and that will do it for the first. 16-13, Grandville by 3 after 1 in the district quarterfinal. Do not go anywhere.
Bowling is a great time that combines great friends, football, and bowling. Compete against your friends or family, throwing a football at 10 real bowling pins. You can bring in your own food, or they have a pair of 45-foot bars featuring soft drinks and adult beverages. Visit bowlingwarehouse.com, Grand Rapids, to reserve your lanes.
Founded in 1969, J&H Family Stores has grown from a single tank truck to over 50 convenience store locations in West Michigan. Our locations offer a variety of fuel options ranging from Exxon, Mobil, Marathon, and Citgo. At many of our stores, you'll also be pleased to find a Tim Hortons or Subway. Find the location near you by visiting myjhfamilystores.com. There's one in your neighborhood.
All right, welcome back to the Dutch Dome. Nate Dreyer here with you. Courtside from Holland, 16-13 after the first. Holland just continuing to answer a couple of Grandville pushes and runs with a bunch of tough threes. Really one that was wide open for Omari Peak, but besides that, I think of Phillips with a deep 3 and so on and so forth. Ferguson as well. They're able to make some really difficult shots, and for that reason, Holland staying close through the first quarter in this one. They get to play on their home floor as the underdog here in this one. Grandville 14-8 out of the OK Red. Holland 3-19 out of the OK Green. Right to left over the timeline. Grandville gets it to start the second quarter of play. Tyson Mann whips right wing for Ryder Haight. He is grabbed by Timo Phillips, and a foul is called. Now 2 on either team. That's the first on Phillips. Mann again to run the offense. Has not left the floor so far early in this one. Left side for Hendrickson. Swings left corner. Stockwell up fake, thinking about the 3. Back to Hendrickson left wing. Hendrickson for Mann. Holland still operating out of this swinging matchup 2-3 zone. Down to the left block, Regneris turns his back on Noah Kelly. Entering the lane, left-hand hook shot. Can't get the friendly roll. Touches it up, grabs his own rebound, and a foul is called on the floor as Cam is grabbed by Noah Kelly. That's the first on Kelly, the junior, and the third on Holland. Good effort down low. Of course, Regneris is going to have 4 or 5 inches over pretty much every Holland player. He gets the ball right corner, whips right side for Haight. Haight back right corner, Hendrickson with a little bit of space, launches a 3, falls short off the front rim, high leaping rebound down to Jacob Van Hecken. 7:24 to go. Jacob and Josiah both out there. Jacob nearly loses the handle right wing. He'll settle it back down. Defended right wing here by Hendrickson. Blows across the floor to the left. Block and a foul called on a reaching Hendrickson as they'll get a hand-checking foul right there. That is the first on Hendrickson, and now 3 on either team. Holst and Powell back in as Peak and Kelly will take a seat for Coach Theo right here and Holland. Baseline left inbound for the Dutch. It'll be Josiah Van Hecken, the freshman, to throw this one in. Van Hecken pounds the rock, looking for the inbound, trying to get motion going. Got it down left block here to Phillips. Turns his back on Stockwell. Hard right-hand shot is deflected up, taken down by Cam Ragnaris, and Tyson Mann to run with it. Mann up the middle of the floor, throws right side. Extra pass to the corner for Haight. Swung back up top with space. Deep three. Tyson Mann, splash! Tyson Mann with 5. Hits a 23-footer, and the Bulldogs go up 6 with 6:55 in the second. Van Hecken bouncing left side. This is Josiah, right wing to Phillips. Fed right corner for Jacob. Bouncing around a screen with a left-hand dribble into the lane. Jacob feeding his brother. Josiah cuts. Nice tic-tac-toe feed onto a cutting Arthur Powell, and Powell lays it in off the window with the right. 19-15 game. 6.5 to go in the second. The Dutch keeping pace right now, the Bulldogs. Ryder Haight right corner for Stockwell right wing. Up top for Tyson Mann in between the rings. Mann defended by Jacob Van Hecken. Right side for Haight into the corner. Stockwell up fake. Dribble drive along the baseline. Reaching pass. Swung up top for Tyson Mann. Launching a 3. Got another one. Mann with 8 and back-to-back triples. 22-15 Grandville. Another deep triple for Mann off the nice ball movement. Van Hecken top of the key. Watched by Hendrickson. Handoff Powell right elbow. Powell for Josiah Van Hecken off the zoom action, top of the key. Left side for Timo Phillips. Launches another deep, tough, contested 3 and splashes down the high arcing shot. A couple really, really tough 3s for Phillips, and he's hit a couple. 22-18. Left block, Ragnaris grabbed by Powell on the entry pass. That is foul 1 on Arthur Powell. That's the 4th on the team. Cam Ferguson will check in for Timo Phillips, the senior, who has come out with some terrific shooting to help keep Holland right in this one. Colin Hybor will check in for the first time as Stockwell will take a seat. Stockwell and Mann both tied with the Grandville leading score at 8. Here's Mann, left corner, whole bunch of space off the inbound 3, got another one! Nothing but net, 11 for Tyson Mann, 25-18 Grandville. 3 threes in a row for number 0 in maroon. Right wing Van Hecken feeding left side for his brother. Here's Josiah feeding left wing for Ferguson. Ferguson entering the lane, no look feed right corner for Holst. The freshman stops right elbow, kicks up top for Josiah. Driving, backing into Tyson Mann, stops right block, hits a cutting Jacob Van Hecken along the baseline, but Van Hecken unable to settle the pass down, goes crashing out of bounds. Grandville takes back over. 5:20 in the second, 25-18. What a start for Tyson Mann. Maybe a little bit of a MGN bump for Tyson coming on, being a part of our pregame show, and very, very efficient scoring early in this one. Here is Hendrickson, top of the key, going to work for the Bulldogs. Handoff for Mann, right wing. He'll throw it with 2 hands left side for Hybor. Hybor on the wing, defended here by Hulst. Right side, Tyson tries another tough one. That one rattles out. He shot it right over top of Van Hecken on a bit of a heat check. 25-18 Grandville. Left wing, Jacob Van Hecken, defended here by Hendrickson to the top of the key, rocking with a crossover dribble. Van Hecken backs it out left wing. Right side for Josiah, driving across, 2-hand feed for Ferguson. Ferguson feeds down left block, Powell, left corner, catch and shoot 3. Van Hecken off the back rim, no. 2-on-2 fight for the rebound on the floor. Hybor lost it, Powell got it out of there. Exit pass right wing for Hulst. He misses a right wing 3. Everything strong off the glass, and the Bulldogs rip it down with Hendrickson, who will weave through defenders up the floor. Left side, Mann, space again. 3 off the back rim, no, he can't hit that one. A grown man rebound from Ragnaris, cannot get the putback, fight for the ball, tipped in left corner. Eventually, Holston Holland settles it down out of there. Couple good looks for Grandville. They come away with nothing offensively. Josiah Van Hecken backing into the lane. Fader over top of Ryder Haight from 8 feet. No. Rebound grab by Ragnaris. He is fouled by Josiah. That is the 5th foul on Holland. And that is foul 1 on Josiah Van Hecken. Jacob Van Hecken will take a seat right here as Omari Peak comes out. Ryder Haight takes a seat. Drew Hungerford comes in here for the Bulldogs. Halfway through the second quarter, 25-18, Grandville over Holland. District quarterfinal here in District 11 on game night on Michigan Sports Radio. Winner will have the winner of West Ottawa and Zeeland West at Zeeland East on Wednesday. We'll have the coverage of that. Tyson Mann, whip pass left side. Hendrickson kicks to the corner for Hungerford. Reaching pass down left block to Ragnaris is picked off by Powell, the sophomore, doing some really good work. Omari Peak runs the length of the floor, whips the hands free. Left hand layup is good. Peak with 7, leads Holland in scoring. The Dutch back within 5, sticking with it right here. Staying back with her, what was a matchup zone look, now going into Mann. Right block down Ragnaris. He is tied up and fouled at the block. That's the 16th foul on Holland. And they get Cameron Ferguson with his first. A lot of fouls for Holland, but they all have been against different players so far. Fouls 6-3 right now. Baseline right. Tyson Mann to throw it in here with 3.5 to go in the second. Grandville by 5. Got it short right corner for Regneris. Up top for Hungerford. Right corner. Catch and shoot 3. Tyson Mann falls short off the front rim. Hungerford had the rebound, then went through his hands, and Josiah Van Hecken will pick it up. So Tyson, after hitting a couple threes in a row, missing a few now, and Omari Peak has it right wing. Peak defended by Mann. Angles to the free throw line. Down the left side. Reverse layup. Blocked by Regner. Stolen by Tyson Mann. Mann weaves through a trio of Holland Dutch players. Throws it over the timeline to Hendrickson. Right corner Hungerford. Toes the line. Launches a 3. Off the back rim, no. Rebound Hendrickson. Put back fouled. He'll go to the line. 7th team foul on Holland. And they will get the foul on Arthur Powell. That is his second. 7th on the team. Bulldogs now into the bonus. Hendrickson will go to work at the line. Hendrickson with 2 early in this one. First free throw is up and good. Grandville takes a 26-20 advantage. Jacob Van Hecken, Timo Phillips will check in here for Holst and Powell, taking his second foul. One more here for Hendrickson at the line. Grandville in the traveling maroon uniforms. Grandville written in script in gray across the chest in the uniforms. Right foot just offset in front of the left, and the second free throw is good. Hendrickson 2 for 2. Grandville shot a very good 82% at the line against Byron Center on Thursday. It's been one of their struggling points this season, but certainly it was the main reason why they won that game. Jacob Van Hecken turning in the lane past Hendrickson. Underhand scoop layup, rattles out, no good. The Bulldogs poke it out of bounds on the fight for the rebound. It will stay with Holland. 2:45 in the second, 27-20. Holland trailing Grandville. They have the ball. Baseline left inbound here for Jacob Van Hecken. Jacob skips for Phillips left block. Phillips turning the back on Hungerford. Working a right-hand dribble. Gave a shimmy. Feeds left corner for Ferguson. Ferguson skip pass for a cutting Van Hecken. Stopped right block as he's cut off by Hendrickson. Looking for a passing lane. Exit for his brother, right wing Josiah. Defended by Highbor here. Freshman on sophomore. Josiah Van Hecken lost the handle. Grandville wanted a carry called. Able to get it to Jacob. Jacob drives. Jump stop. Two-hand layup is down and good. And now the officials are going to come over and have a word right here as we have a technical. It's on Jacob Van Hecken. So after that play, Jacob Van Hecken said something, did something, and he'll draw a technical from this officiating crew. So no tolerance early from this crew, and it will be Hendrickson at the line here for the technical free throws. First one from Hendrickson, rattles out. So interesting to watch that develop in terms of what the rest of this game may look like, in terms of what teams can get away with. Of course, Grandville coming off of, as Hendrickson hits the second, Grandville coming off a game that had plenty of back-and-forth action against Byron Center in terms of some of the chirping and near fights and maybe actually fights between the two teams in a high-energy game. So Grandville with the ball with Hendrickson up top here, swings right wing on Hungerford. Haight is in for Tyson Mann, by the way. Lob pass, right block. Regneris double-teamed and fouled as Ferguson was all over him on the reach. No. Actually, they're going to call a jump ball as they tie up over that one. They'll say there was enough of a held ball right there between the two sides. Alternating possession goes to Holland, and the Dutch have it down 6 with 2 minutes in the second. Here is Peak, top of the key, swinging right wing for Phillips. Phillips defended by Hungerford. Handoff here for Jacob Van Hecken. Back right corner for Phillips. Phillips bounces around the screen. Up top for Ferguson. Two-hand swing pass, left wing Josiah Van Hecken. Left corner for Peak. Defended by Hendrickson. Crossing into the lane down the left side. Right-hand shot blocked by Hendrickson, but a foul on Quinton is his second, 5th on the Bulldogs. So to the line, it'll be Omari Peak. 7 points. He leads Holland in scoring as we near the end of the first half in this one. Peak, the junior guard, wears 10 in white. Purple shoes to go along with the white uniform. Dribbles a few times to steady himself. Right hand in front of the face, free throw motion, rattles out, no good. Mann, Stockwell check in for Hendrickson and Highbor here for Coach Young. One more coming up for Omari Peak. Has a white leg sleeve, compression sleeve down the left leg for the junior guard. One more here for Peak. Dribbles in rhythm. Right hand free throw up. Too strong, can't hit it. Rebound pokes out to Peak left wing. He'll dribble down the left baseline. Kicks left corner for Van Hecken. Swung up top for Phillips. Phillips left wing for Ferguson. Ferguson backing into the lane, right wing for Peak. Peak splits a pair of defenders. Jump pass right corner Phillips. Up top, Josiah Van Hecken. Van Hecken drives past Haight. Two-hand push feed off the back rim. No. Rebound down to Drew Hungerford. 1:25 in the second, 28-22. Tyson Mann left wing up top for Hungerford. Swung right wing. Haight let right corner. Stockwell down low for Regnerus. He's fouled on the floor by Timo Phillips on the grab. That'll be the 8th foul on Holland. That's foul 2 on Phillips. Arthur Powell will check back in here for the Dutch, as likely we will see Phillips take a seat. We will see Phillips take a seat right here. Regnerus to the line. He has 4 early on in this one. Bends the knees, right-hand free throw. Good. Regnerus has another one coming. He was very, very good at the line. Of course, hit the icing free throws against Byron Center as well. Grandville goes up 7 here. One more at the line for Cam. Bends the knees, right-hand free throw, flipped it up. Can't get the friendly roll as that 360's out. And the rebound down to Ferguson and Holland. Josiah Van Hecken, the handle up the left side of the floor, feeds right wing for Ferguson. Jabbing, spinning to the free throw line, stops right elbow, gives up top here for Peak. Peak will back it out against Ryder Haight. Now drive into the lane. Left-hand shot blocked by Regnerus. Rebound is settled down out of a scrum by Tyson Mann. 54 seconds to go, second quarter, 29-22. Left corner, Ryder Haight, wide open 3. High arcing shot is down and good. Nothing but net for Haight. 32-22, Grandville by double digits. What a shot. Looked like it was going to hit the ceiling as it high arced its way right down the hatch for the Bulldogs. Final 36 seconds, top of the key. Loose dribble. Van Hecken now crowded by Tyson Mann. Looks like Jacob was maybe waiting for the final shot. Kicks up top for Omari Peak with 28. Peak has Haight crowding him in between the rings with 24. Peak to the left side. Holland trailing by 10, looking like they're holding for the final shot. Inside 20 seconds to go, Josiah Van Hecken. Defended by Stockwell to the right wing. Skip past top of the key. In front of the timeline to Van Hecken, Jacob Van Hecken. Van Hecken to the left wing. Right side for his brother. Josiah steps around the defender. Launches a 3. Missed it all. Rebound Tyson Mann. Looks at the clock with 4. Up the right side. Mann throws right corner. Stockwell at the horn. 3. Oh, it's no good. Off the connector. It looked really good off his hand. Cannot get the touch. And that'll do it for the first half. Grandville 32, Holland 22 at the break here in this one from the Dutch Dome. Welcome in to the Centennial Securities Halftime Show. Nate Dreyer with you here in this one. Good run at the end of that first half for Grandville. Helps put them up double digits into the break. But again, scrappy Holland team continues to stay with. They continue to make shots when it seems like they need those shots to go down the most. And because of that, they stay right in it. Just still down 10 at the break. A sloppy game, I think, on the whole, with some good shot making that has been thrown in between as well. A lot more to get to here on the Centennial Securities Halftime Show. Do not go anywhere.
Jerry opened the letter. An eviction notice? He and his family couldn't bear to move again. It was warm and they had plenty of space for their acorns. Anxiety took a hold of him. Then suddenly,
you've got squirrels in your engine and they chew through the wiring.
And it was covered, thanks to a farmer's agent. Engine Bay Squatters, May 23rd, 2015. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today at 616-531-3441. Your local farmer's agent who helps you plan for the unexpected.
I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. I've heard it said that professional coaches measure success in rings, college coaches measure success in championships, and high school coaches measure it in titles. But youth coaches measure success in smiles. At Centennial Securities, we're like the youth coach. Our success is measured by the smiles on the faces of our satisfied clients. If you're a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Michigan Sports Academies offers quality youth sports in Grand Rapids, Holland, and Muskegon. With a wide variety of programming, MSA has something for new athletes who are just starting out to experienced athletes looking to take their game to the next level. Year-round programming is offered in basketball, lacrosse, soccer, and volleyball. Your athlete will love the quality of instruction from experienced coaches and state-of-the-art facilities conveniently located in Grand Rapids and along the lakeshore. Check us out at MichiganSportsAcademies.com.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
All right, welcome back, everyone, here to the Dutch Dome. Nate Dreyer with you here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Quarterfinal in District 11 here in Division I. Grandville leading Holland at the Dutch Dome 32-22. At the break, let's take a look at your leading scorers from this first half of play. Tyson Mann leading all scorers and leading Grandville, of course, with 11. Quentin Hendrickson has 5 for the Bulldogs. Logan Stockwell with 8 for Grandville. He had a red-hot start. Ryder Haight hit a triple. He has 3. And Cam Regneris with 5 for Grandville. Holland led in scoring by Omari Peak. He has 7. Timo Phillips with 6, a pair of really tough threes from the senior. Cameron Ferguson with 3. Arthur Powell with 4. And Grandville so far has held Jacob Van Hecken to 2 in that first half, and they hold the lead at the break. A tough first half of play, a game that feels like March. You can see the intensity up for both teams, both coaches throwing some different things at each other and at each other's teams, I should say. Coach Thiel has gone to a couple different matchup and zone looks that Grandville has had to face up against and had some issues against, but for the most part, a good shooting night for Grandville on the whole. Outside of one little run, Tyson Mann made 3 in a row, missed 3 in a row. Really the only extended portion where Grandville has missed shots. They've been very efficient, very good at finding the open man and doing so in an efficient and a safe manner, like we talked about, trying to eliminate turnovers will be such a big part of the evening tonight for Grandville offensively. Also trying to limit turnovers. In terms of some of the half-court mistakes that they made against Byron Center, that's not been there really too much, especially with Holland kind of going to more of that zone look. Grandville has worked it around the perimeter, done a pretty good job with that as well for Holland. It's been a three-point shooting. Talked about it in the pregame show. They can't shoot the ball very well. They can shoot the ball in contested looks pretty well, and you saw guys like Phillips and Peak certainly knocking down some really tough looks. Cameron Ferguson had a really, really tough deep look from the wing as well, and that's all how it's only a 10-point game at the half, and it still is right in that danger zone for Grandville. We'll see if Coach Young's team can come out with a lot of jump to kind of put this away and get out of upset territory. But for Holland, if they keep hanging around on their home floor, you never know what can happen in March. We're going to step aside, be right back here on the Centennial Securities Halftime Show. Grandville by 10 at the break, 32-22 over Holland.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Can you identify your number one personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Hi everyone, Nate from MGN. Hopefully everyone is enjoying today's presentation of Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. We are incredibly proud of the last few seasons of MGN and the coverage and broadcast editions that we've been able to bring, including adding in-house produced video coverage this winter. We also are very, very excited for the future and have some big plans on how to expand and improve further upon our video, podcast, and radio coverage. We are incredibly thankful to Grandville and the Michigan high school sports community for their support as we've seen our audience continue to grow like wildfire, seeing upwards of 8,000 to 10,000 people in total tuning in for some of our largest Friday night and playoff coverage games. We're also, of course, thankful to the Grandville Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency and Centennial Securities for their great long-time presenting sponsorship of MGN. Because of them, all these great additions that we've been able to make over the last few years and all these plans we have going forward have been able to happen. Of course, also, we have to thank the community that is tuned in, and because of all that, we're in a position where we are looking to add partners here at MGN as we continue to look to improve that coverage going forward, along with our other due diligence looking on ahead. We can even reach out to you, the listener here today, if you, your company, or somewhere you know may have interest in partnering with Michigan Game Night. please feel free to reach out. MGN offers a unique opportunity to sponsor both the Grandville area, get your ads reached out into the West Michigan area and beyond throughout the state of Michigan with playoff coverage. There's no one broadcast team and maybe even additional broadcasts within the MGN window that quite offer that sort of benefit for your company. And through customizable presenting sponsorship plans that are for the 2023-2024 school year, we'll even be able to throw in this winter onto these affordable plans. I think there's a unique, customizable deal that could be met to help best find the needs of your company, meet them to MGN. We are so excited about what's coming. We're thankful to the community that's been able to support us over the last few years, and we're really, really ready to see what's next. And hopefully, along with the great support from the Bates Agency and Centennial Securities, we also are going to be able to march forward with even more great things going forward. We've added video coverage, and now I think it's time to add on even more to our video, radio, and podcast coverage going forward. So thanks again, everyone, for their support. And make sure if you do have interest to reach out through MichiganGameNight.com. You can find an entire contact page right there, in particular through email, migamenenight@gmail.com. There's phone numbers and more also listed that you can reach out to myself through on the Michigan Game Night website. Thanks again, everyone. Now let's get back to the game. All right, welcome back to the Centennial Securities Halftime Show. By the way, of course, as I mentioned, as everyone knows, winner of this game has the winner of Zeeland West versus West Ottawa. Maybe a little bit of an upset brewing in that one. West Ottawa leading Zeeland West 31-27 at the break. So for a lot of people, if you checked out Michigan Sports Radio today, I helped a little bit of a great write-up that we have previewing all of the districts that Michigan Sports Radio has coverage of. And I said this could be a game to look out for, but everyone was kind of looking forward to that Merritt Alderink versus Cam Regnerus matchup in the second round. This is a tough West Ottawa team. Had a big win over Holland Christian to close their regular season. Of course, coming out of the OK Red, we know how tough that obviously Grandville fans know how tough that league is, and you know what? That could be interesting to see what happens down the stretch as Holland West Ottawa taking down Zeeland West right now at the break. In that one, we are at the break in this one. Grandville by 10. Both teams wrapping up their warm-ups, are ready to go. Who's going to come out with that punch? I think you can expect Coach Thiel's Holland team to really come out running, really come out gunning early. You've seen some of the threes they've been able to knock down. They have to get some momentum going if they're going to have a chance in this one. All right, both teams back to their coaches. They'll get a final word in. Desmond Young in his second season, the head coach for Grandville. Mason Thiel, the head coach for Holland. Grandville in the traveling maroon uniforms, home whites for the Dutch here this evening. Tyson Mann leads all scorers with 11 at the break. Omari Peak with 7 to lead Holland at the break. Other notable scorers, Stockwell has 8 for the Bulldogs. Timo Phillips has 6 for the Dutch. Second half ready to go. This time it will be the Bulldogs taking the ball out of the break. They will go left to right across your radio dial. Holland goes right to left. Same lineups that open the game, open the second half. Mann, Hendrickson, Hungerford, Stockwell, Regnerus for the Bulldogs. Ferguson, Peak, Hulk, Powell, Powell, and Jacob Van Hecken for the Dutch. They start in a little bit of a switching matchup zone. Van Hecken reaches and steals. Van Hecken to the basket. Right-hand layup, reaching around. Mann hangs on the back rim and falls. Van Hecken able to get another one, and Hendrickson the ball for the Bulldogs. Mann driving, whipping the hands free. Shot off the bottom of the glass is no good, but a foul. Meanwhile, slow back to his feet. Van Hecken got caught up behind the play. Fouls on Arthur Powell. That is the third on the sophomore. It'll send Tyson Mann to the line for a 1-1. Timo Phillips, Josiah Van Hecken will check in here for the Dutch in just a moment. Mann wearing 0 in maroon. Maroon short sleeves underneath the maroon uniform. White compression pants underneath the short legs, and the first free throw splashes down pure for Tyson. He has 12. Jacob Van Hecken checking out. Josiah coming in for him. Also, Powell takes a seat as Timo Phillips will check in. One more at the line here for Tyson Mann. Right foot just offset in front of the left. Bends the knees. Right hand free throw up and good. Mann hits them both. He has 13. The Bulldogs go back up 10 with 7.5 to go in the third. Omari Peak up near side right to left will carry to the top of the key, defended by Mann. Throws left side for Phillips. Fakes a handoff. Turns the corner. Phillips bowling into the lane. a whistle and a foul going to be called on the Bulldogs. Grandville at the same time maybe want to travel on the jump stop, but a foul is called on Regneris. That is his second, first on the Bulldogs. 7:20 to go in the third. Grandville by 10, 34-24. So I check, they are going to call it a shooting foul. It will send Timo Phillips here to the line. So Phillips toes the line, right back on the floor. First free throw is up, and a high arcing shot falls short off the front rim. Phillips, 6 for the senior, a pair of tough triples that he knocked down in that first half. Has one more coming up right here. Phillips probably more of a guard by nature, but forced to play more of the 3 or the 4 in this system. Second high arcing free throw is no good off the back rim. Regneris tips the rebound up, and it's settled down by Phillips and fed top of the key to Ferguson. Right side, Josiah Van Hecken throwing across Phillips' left wing, defended by Tyson Mann. Bouncing to the top of the key, to the right elbow. Phillips turns the back, hits a cutting Van Hecken underneath the basket, takes one dribble, stops. He is surrounded defensively by Stockwell. Left corner for Peak, defended by Hendrickson. Drives the baseline. Peak stops underneath the basket. Turning on the pivot, jump pass left wing Van Hecken. Big jab step into the lane. Right-hand shot swatted from the top of its trajectory by Cam Regneris, and the rebound down with Tyson Mann of the Bulldogs. 6:45 in the third. Mann shimmying into the lane. Left side for Hendrickson. Whip pass, left block. Regneris turns. Right-hand hook shot. Strong off the glass, but a foul called on Timo Phillips. Will be the second on the team, and that'll be the third on Phillips. 6:38 in the third, 34-24. One more at the line, or two coming up at the line here for Regneris. He has 5. Regneris spends the knees, right-hand free throw in front of the face motion is down and pure. Cam was 6, now 2 of 3 at the line. Jacob Van Hecken will check back in here for Omari Peak. One more for Regneris. It's up, and it's good. Splashes that one down as pure as it gets. 12-point lead for the Bulldogs, 36-24. Inside 6.5 now to go in the third quarter. Jacob Van Hecken, right wing to run the offense. Up top for Phillips. Phillips defended by Hungerford, right hand bracing him. Hits a cutting Van Hecken, stopped right block, up top for Hulst. The freshman sells it down, defended by Stockwell. Handoff left wing for Ferguson. Throws right side for Phillips. Back left side, Josiah Van Hecken. Up fake, walks to the free throw line. Pull-up jumper, rolls out, did a 360 and will not fall. Rebound down to Stockwell. Stockwell up the middle of the floor, spinning away from Van Hecken. Right wing for Tyson Mann. Mann holding, surveys up top. Hungerford swung to Hendrickson. Left corner, Stockwell. Dump pass, Regneris. Turning the back, spinning, reverse layup, and one. It's good. Regneris laying it in. He has 9. He can go to the line for double digits. That foul on Ferguson is his second. Third on Holland. Regneris drawing the defense, and the Bulldogs feeding the big man. You figured he was going to have a big advantage. He now looked to be our second double-digit scorer in the game. Free throw is up. Off the connector, no, but a leaping rebound down to Hungerford. Hungerford whips across left corner to Stockwell. Jabbing, launches a 3 over top of Van Hecken. Splash! 16 for Stockwell and another triple. Grandville up 41-24. We will be right back.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
Welcome back to the Dutch Dome. 41-24, Grandville over Holland. Quick correction, I think I said it right before the break. Logan Stockwell had 16. Stockwell has 11 right now off his third triple of the game. That's what I get when Chandler's not here and I can't read my own chicken scratch and he's not there to punch me in the arm to tell me that I have the score wrong or give me some sort of crooked look when I say some wrong number. So it's 11 for Stockwell right now for the Bulldogs on 3 threes, and we are back underway now. 41-24 with 5:48 in the third. Holland will be inbounding in the backcourt, moving right to left across the radio dial. Noah Kelly, their junior, has checked back in right here, throws it into Jacob Van Hecken. He'll get the offense started right side, defended by an arm spread wide Tyson Mann. Picks up the dribble, reaching pass to the free throw line for Kelly. Jabbing at the elbow. Handoff for a curling Josiah Van Hecken. Left wing for Hulst. Defended by Stockwell. Starts a right-hand dribble, crosses, drives down the left side, jump stop, left block. Handoff, left wing, catch and shoot three. Josiah Van Hecken off the connector, no. Leaping rebound, Drew Hungerford. Hungerford, right side for Mann. Drives right baseline, takes it inside, feeds left block Regnerus, lost the handle, poked out of bounds. Last touch by Van Hecken. Stays with Grandville. Sam Payne, senior guard, will check in for the first time tonight for Holland, along with Arthur Powell, the sophomore, who comes back in here. Phillips and Hulst will take a seat. 5:18 in the third. Baseline right inbound. Tyson Mann to throw it in over top of Jacob Van Hecken. Lobbing right elbow for Regnerus. Turning into the paint. Shimmies. Right-hand floater. Off the back rim, no. Rebound poked to the corner and secured along the end line by Noah Kelly. Van Hecken, Jacob Van Hecken around the Holland offense. Jacob in the right wing, throws left side Josiah to the top of the key. Two-hand feed, right wing curling Sam Payne. Spinning into the lane, cut off the free throw line by Stockwell. Josiah, left wing with space. Kelly launches a left-handed three, misses everything wide to the right side. Mann the rebound on the run, throws over the timeline for Hendrickson. Lobbing, Regnerus goes up and jams with two hands to complete the alley-oop. 43-24. Hendrickson lobbing and jammed down by Regnerus. Grandville extending the lead to 43-24. Pull up free throw line. Van Hecken misses it all. Rebound down to Cam Regnerus. Grandville looking to push it to a 20-plus point lead. Hendrickson right wing, feeding Regnerus. Bouncing into the lane, left corner, Stockwell. Catch and shoot three. Got another one. 14 for Stockwell, right down the hatch. 46-24. Grandville, the Bulldogs, firing up as a timeout is called on the floor. The Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame celebrates the city's rich sports history by honoring prominent West Michigan athletes and those who have contributed greatly to sports on a local, state, or national level. The GRS HOF also presents annual events in support of West Michigan athletics and raises funds to support local youth organizations and charities. Follow the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame on Facebook and check out pictures and biographies of all 181 inductees at GRSHOF.com. Have you heard the exciting news that Michigan Basketball Academy and Storm Basketball have joined forces to bring you the best basketball experience in West Michigan? Tryouts will be held on March 12th. For more information, visit MichiganBasketballAcademy.com. What a run for the Bulldogs. They lead by 22 with 4:20 in the third, and they nearly have the Dutch doubled up. Holland with some good runs in the first half, but Grandville has been pulling away down the stretch. Omari Peak back out there to run the Dutch offense up the right side of the floor over the timeline. Defended by Mann. Right corner for Payne. Defended by Ryder Haight. Payne with the left-hand dribble. Stops top of the key. Whips left wing for Peak. Defended by Mann. Reaching in. Mann nearly steals. Peak regathers in between the circles. Peak drives down the left side. Floater over top of Regnerus. Hits the top of the backboard. On the floor. Fight for the rebound. Hendrickson locking up with Peak. Held ball is called. Alternating possession will stay with the Dutch. Corbin Heckman will check in for his first action tonight. He's been kind of out of the Bulldog rotation in this one as Regnerus will take a seat. Baseline left inbound for Josiah Van Hecken here. 3:57 in the third, 46-24 Grandville, district quarterfinal game. Van Hecken left corner for Powell, left wing for Payne. Payne driving on Mann, cut off free throw line. Two-hand overhead pass left wing for Peak. Working the pivot foot, defended by Haight. Up top for Kelly. Swings right wing Josiah Van Hecken. Up fake, reaching pass, right block for Powell. The sophomore turning on Heckman, spinning into the lane, spinning once more. Right hand hook shot, falls short, rebound Heckman, pushed on to Hendrickson. Grandville to run. Hendrickson stops and throws left wing for Tyson Mann. Mann, left corner, Hungerford with space, thought about the three, now gave it back to Mann, and it swung around right wing for Hendrickson. Back to Mann, left side. Holland in a switching 2-3 matchup zone. Mann driving into the lane, right hand hook shot is strong off the glass. Rebound chases out of bounds. Last off a man. Tyson will take a seat as Hybor will come in. Jacob Van Hecken along with Cam Ferguson check in for Holland. 3:17 in the third, 46-24. Omari Peak to run the offense here for the Dutch. Defended by Ryder Haight, top of the key to the left wing. Two-hand feed in between the circles to Payne. Payne defended by Hungerford, bouncing around a screen, stops right wing with it. Now Hybor switches onto him. Right corner, Jacob Van Hecken. Van Hecken will back it out to the top of the key. Throws right wing for Payne. Payne curls free throw line, spinning on Hybor, stops right block, up top for Peak. Peak tries to drive. He's grabbed and fouled by Quentin Hendrickson. That is 3 on the Bulldogs senior guard, and that is the 3rd on Grandville this half. 2:48 in the 3rd, 46-24 Grandville. Baseline right inbound underneath the offensive hoop here at the Dutch Dome for the home Dutch. Tyson Mann's break was pretty darn short as he comes in for Hendrickson off that foul. Jacob Van Hecken throws right corner into Peak, holding in the triple threat stance. Right side for Powell. Powell top of the key. Ferguson defended tightly here by Hybor. Whips right wing for Van Hecken. Van Hecken, ball high above his head, reaching pass down right block to Powell. Starts the spin into the lane, reaching around Heckman. Right hand push shot is good. Powell was 6, a very difficult shot reaching around the Bulldog Jr., and it's down to a 20-point game with 2.5 in the 3rd. Man, handoff right corner for Hungerford. Hungerford backing against a pair of defenders. Right block for Heckman. Turning, ball poked up high in the air, paddled out and secured by Powell on the steal for the Dutch. Van Hecken, left corner for Peak. Peak drives the lane, reaching shot around Hungerford. He's fouled as it's poked away. Foul is the 1st on Hungerford and the 4th on the Bulldogs, and it will send Omari Peak back to the line. Peak was 7 in the first half, has not scored in the 3rd quarter so far of this district quarterfinal from the Dutch Dome. Again, winner has Zeeland West versus West Ottawa. West Ottawa led that game at the break. First free throw up. Too strong for Peak. He'll have another one coming. Holst and Stockwell check in for the respective teams. Payne and Hungerford will check out. 2:10 in the 3rd. 20-point lead for the Bulldogs. One more at the line here for Omari Peak, the junior point guard. Peak, 10 and white. Right foot just offset in front of the left. Dribbles in motion. Right hand free throw. Good. 8 points now for Peak. And a 46-27 game. Tyson Mann back on the floor will take it here for the Bulldogs. Mann to the top of the key. Left side Stockwell defended here by Peak. Reaching down to Heckman left block. Turning the shoulder. Whip pass left side. Hybor with space. 3. Spins out. Powelson keers and snags the rebound along the baseline. Omari Peak right wing. Holland resets the offense. Peak fakes left, drives right to the basket. Leaning shot will send him to the line on a foul call. 1:46 in the 3rd, 46-27. That foul on Ryder Haight is his first. Now 5 on Grandville. Or 4, I should say, on Grandville this half. 46-27. Phillips sets check back in here for the Dutch in just a moment. Peak free throw up and good. Splashes that one down. That's 9 now for the junior. Timo Phillips will come in for Cameron Ferguson. One more here for Peak at the line. Going to get into double-digit scoring. 46-28 game. Free throw up and good for Omari Peak. He's got double digits now with 10. 46-29 game. Man over the timeline. At the top of the key, swings left side to Hybor. Hybor driving, floater from 8, front rim no good. Rebound poked out of bounds, last touched by Hybor and the Bulldogs. It goes Holland's way with just a little over 90 seconds in the 3rd quarter. Omari Peak to run the offense here, near side, right to left up the floor for the Dutch. Ryder Haight comes out to meet him defensively left wing. Feed to the corner, left corner for Van Hecken. Crossing and driving. Jump pass left side for Powell. Powell backs, cut off left elbow. Feeds up top for Phillips. Up fake and a drive. He's stopped free throw line by Stockwell. Right side for Peak. He's now picked up defensively by Stockwell. Spinning into the lane. Stops right elbow. Feeds left wing for Holst. The freshman drives. Turns at the left block. Up top, Van Hecken. Jumping around man. Launches a mid-range jumper from the free throw line. No. Rebound is poked up top. Tyson Mann had it. It was poked away from him by Van Hecken out of bounds. Josiah Van Hecken will check in for his brother. So Josiah in for Jacob. 1:04 in the 3rd. 46-29. Stockwell throws in for Mann. Final 1 minute of the 3rd quarter. Mann, handoff left wing for Haight. Dutch sticking to that 2-3 kind of swinging matchup zone. Left wing for Mann. Up top for Hybor. Hybor, right corner, Heckman. Feeds just to his right side, deeper in the corner to Haight. Swung around left wing Hybor to the left corner for Tyson Mann. Mann, down left block for Heckman. Heckman fakes a pass once, now starts a right-hand dribble. Spins on Powell. Left-hand hook shot will not get the friendly touch. Rebound down to Powell, 31 seconds to go. Holland the ball. Peak feeding one down for Van Hecken, jumped and stolen by Tyson Mann. Man up the middle of the floor, Euros into the lane, right-hand floater, rattles home good. 15 now for Tyson Mann, 48-29 Grandville, final 17 seconds of the third. Omari Peak to run the offense, defended by Haight left wing, skips up top for Powell. The sophomore turning on the right pivot foot, defended by Heckman. Hand off for a curling Phillips, top of the key, drops it for Josiah Van Hecken with 3. Left side to Peak. Peak driving, tough pull up over top of Ryder Haight from 21 feet. Goes strong off the glass, no good. That'll do it for the third. Grandville 48, Holland 29, 1 quarter to go in the district quarterfinal.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car. And the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Need to replace that worn-out carpet or floor? Floor Coverings International makes it easy. They bring their mobile showroom to you. Save yourself the trip and gas shopping around. See a wide selection of carpet, hardwood, laminate, and vinyl in the lighting of your own home. Go to floorcoveringsinternational.com today for your free consultation. Work with one team for a hassle-free experience from the quote to installation. And each Floor Coverings International business is independently owned and operated, so they are local business owners in our community. Floor Coverings International, the flooring store at your door.
Are you looking for...
Out of the break, Grandville with it here, still working with nearly 30 seconds off this clock. Regnerus left corner with space. Hendrickson 3, off the front rim, no. High leaping rebound, Stockwell, left hand put back, no. Swatted out of there by Phillips to the corner, and Omari Peak will pick it up here and run it for Holland. To the top of the key, driving down the right side, Peak, right hand hook shot blocked at the basket by Regnerus, and it's pushed up over the timeline to Hendrickson. Up top for Regnerus, bounding into the lane, left hand shot swatted hard out of bounds by Arthur Powell. It stays with the Bulldogs. Ferguson, Jacob Van Hecken check in here for the Dutch. Josiah Van Hecken will take a seat for Holland, along with Keegan Hulse. So both freshmen check out here for the Dutch. 7:12 to go in the fourth, 48-29 Grandville. Baseline right inbound here for Tyson Mann. Throws right corner for Regnerus. Swung left wing. Hendrickson lobbing up for Regnerus again. Able to catch. Goes back up. Right hand hook shot. No. Pokes the rebound to the perimeter where it's taken by Ferguson. And Holland to run with Jacob Van Hecken. Van Hecken blowing into the lane. Stops right block. Defended by Summers who's out there for the first time for the Bulldogs. Left wing for Peak. Peak right wing for Ferguson. Ferguson drives to the free throw line. Turns the back on Hendrickson. Right corner for Omari Peak. Peak stops right elbow. Feeds left wing for Phillips. Thought about a deep 3 over top of Stockwell. Now kicks left corner for Ferguson. Ferguson right hand push pass top of the key to Van Hecken. Shimmies, shakes, but a travel is called as he stuttered the feet. And Grandville takes back over. 6:39 in the fourth. 48-29 Bulldogs. West Ottawa leading Zeeland West 42-39 after the third in that game. So the Panthers continue to work on a potential upset right there and set up what would be the third meeting between they and Grandville. If Grandville hangs on. Right wing 3. Tyson Mann right down the hatch and good. 18 for Tyson. Facing up against the defender and knocking it down. 51-29. And a timeout from the Holland bench. It's not too late to apply for admission at Ferris State University. And you have to make sure you sign up for orientation. Ferris State also offers summer camps in all sports. Check them out online at ferris.edu. Golf Emporium has a surplus of golf bags. Anyone who mentions Michigan Sports Radio will receive $35 off any golf bag. I saw on the Michigan Sports Radio Facebook page there were a few people that picked up that deal and were able to get themselves a new golf bag with hopefully the weather improving and the season coming around very shortly right here to be able to get outside as we are into March. It is, of course, the best time for me, at least, of the high school sports calendar. I think there's nothing really much more fun than this run to the Breslin Center starting here tonight on the boys' side. We've already had an incredible March with the upset on Friday night, Hudsonville falling to Jenison on the girls' side. And an interesting game here. Holland back and forth early throughout that first quarter. They kept throwing body blows to the Bulldogs. They got it down to even within 10 at the end of that first half of play. But Grandville opening things up, and they've been around 20-plus points to lead throughout the second half despite a little bit slower game. And a lot of great shooting for Grandville. Logan Stockwell at 14, been terrific. Of course, Tyson Mann at 18. Really, really good tonight for the Bulldogs. They've had that perimeter scoring. Cam Regneris also in double digits. He has 11, and we are back underway. It'll be Ferguson throwing in from the near side for the Dutch right here. They go right to left across the radio dial. Ferguson peering for the inbound, got it into the backcourt to Amari Peak. Final 6:15. Peak to the top of the key, defended by Tyson Mann, who will call out his defense. Right wing for Powell. Fakes a handoff, now fakes another handoff, I should say, onto Van Hecken. Drives, cut off right block, onto Van Hecken. Pull-up jumper is passed out into the free throw line to Powell. Left corner for Amari Peak, and Peak is fouled and grabbed on the floor by Nate Summers. That is his first. Fifth on Grandville with 6:03 in the fourth. 51-29. Baseline left inbound here for Timo Phillips. Phillips with a couple of threes back in the first half will throw in here. Looking for the inbound lane. Two hands high above the head. Lobs up top for the sophomore Powell. Left corner for Phillips. Defended by Ryder Haight. Starts the dribble. Crossing over in the left wing. Kicks up top for Ferguson. Ferguson angles down the left side. Cut off the elbow by Summers. Throws right side with two hands to Peak. Peak to the top of the key. Driving into the lane. Left side. Phillips. Catch and shoot three. Off the connector. No. Rattling rebound. Chased down by Regneris and the Bulldogs. 5:40 to go in the fourth quarter. 51-29. Sam Payne sets check back in here for the Dutch. Man, curling around a screen. Jump stop. Right elbow. Reaching shot off the side of the backboard. Grabbed his own rebound. Had it stolen away by Phillips. Then Phillips loses it to Haight. Swung left wing to Hendrickson. Lobbing down left block, Regneris. Up top, extra feed. Left wing, Hendrickson three. Rattles out. It was more down than out, but won't go. But Tyson Mann, jumping and leaping, secures the rebound. To the top of the key. Mann, curling, pull-up shot, free throw line. Got it. 20 for Tyson Mann. 53-29 Grandville. 5:09 in the fourth. Peak in the right wing, defended by Mann. Banging into him at the free throw line. Peak turns, gives up right wing for Ferguson. Ferguson backs down, right block. Fading, leaning shot over top of Summers is good as he's able to knock down a tough one right there. Bouncing into the lane, 53-31. Holland extending a half-court trap. Left corner, Summers with a whole bunch of space. Launches a three. Off the back rim, no. Rebound down to Timo Phillips. He's going to run. Throws over the timeline, Jacob Van Hecken. Van Hecken stops, toes the left three-point line. Puts up a shot, rattles it out short. Rebound down to Tyson Mann. Mann defended by Van Hecken, stopped in front of the timeline and grabbed and fouled. That'll be the fourth on Holland. That's foul 2 on Van Hecken. Hybor, Payne checking for the respective teams. Tyson Mann takes a seat, and Omari Peak takes a seat. Left side, Hybor to throw in here for the Bulldogs. The sophomore gets it into Hendrickson, standing on the Holland H logo at center floor. Behind the back dribble, angling left side. Kicks left corner for Hybor. Hybor, double team, poked out of bounds. Last touch by Jacob Van Hecken. 4:18 in the fourth, 53-31. Grandville by 22. District quarterfinal game. Baseline, or left side inbound in the corner for Hybor. Hybor gets it into a harassed Hendrickson by Van Hecken. He'll back it out left wing. Van Hecken looking to crowd him a little bit. Now Holland going man-to-man defensively. Hendrickson crossing left side, stares at the basket. Now drives. And foul is called off the ball. Fouls on Van Hecken, his third, now 5 on either team, 4:05 in the fourth. Summers to throw in baseline left here for the Bulldogs. Summers lobbing a pass behind Regneris, able to settle it down. Regneris then skies, reaching around a defender and jams with two hands. What a play by Cam. He has 13, 55-31. Up top for Phillips. Phillips down the bouncing right side of the lane. Pull-up jumper over top of Haight, no good. Rebound on the floor, chased down by Van Hecken. He'll secure it left corner. Gave a shimmy, turning his back onto Hendrickson. Left wing for Ferguson. Ferguson drives on Hybor, cut off free throw line. Right wing for Payne on an escape pass. Up fake, dribble drive, spins at the elbow. Lost and regather the possession, and Payne wildly able to fling it right corner to Ferguson. Left wing for Powell, up top for Phillips. Left corner Van Hacken. Ferguson up top, launches a deep, deep three. Misses everything short, but a rebound to Powell. Right corner, step back three. Phillips got it. 3 threes for Timo Phillips. He has 9. 55-34 Grandville. Hendrickson harassed by Van Hacken, throws right side for Summers. Right corner Hybor, lobbing down right block for Regnerus, turns the back, hook shot, short, foul called. That foul is on Powell. That'll be the 4th on the sophomore. 6th on Holland. It sends Cam Regnerus back to the line. 3:02 in the 4th. 55-34 Grandville. Regnerus bends the knees. Right-hand free throw. Rolls out strong. A lot of changes right here. Elliot Wehrmeyer checks in for the first time for Holland along with Noah Kelly. Phillips will check out to an applause as the senior will leave the floor likely for the final time here with 3:02. Grandville brings Boston Postma on the floor. Second one for Cam Regnerus is good. He's now tied with Stockwell for 14. Cam will take a seat, possibly for the end of the night. We'll see as Heckman comes in. Tyson Mann already to the bench. He has 20. Final 3 minutes as Van Hacken has it rolled all the way over the half-court line before he picks it up. Up top for Ferguson. Ferguson stops at the free throw line, feeds right wing for Van Hacken, spinning into the lane, stopped right elbow in a double team. Right corner for Ferguson, drives baseline, cut off, and a foul is called. Foul will be on Ryder Haight, his second. Now 6 on either team. 2:51 in the 4th. 56-34 Grandville over Holland in the district quarterfinal here from the Dutch Dome. Van Hacken lobs up top for Wehrmeyer. Handoff on the curl for Ferguson. Ferguson jabbing on Heckman to the top of the key, spinning down the right side of the lane. Tough leaner from 10 feet away from the defender, falls short off the front rim. Rebound poked out of bounds, last touched by Kelly, and the Dutch and Grandville takes over. Josiah Morin, the junior, checks in. Jacob Van Hacken will get applause on his way off the floor. Postma left wing, probing to the free throw line. Crosses over, left wing. Heckman swings to the corner to Hybor. Hybor, left wing, bouncing into the lane. Hard pass on to Summers. Reverse layup, no good, but he's fouled hard and goes to the line. Nice work bounding into the lane from Hybor. Jump stops with some speed. Whips a pass to the driving Summers, who will get to go to the line for 2. Grandville has a couple more substitutions coming up here in a moment, as well as Schultz and O'Mara each set to check in here for the Bulldogs at 2:24 in the 4th. 56-34 their lead. Summers at the line, right foot just in front of the left. Free throw is up. Free throw is good. First point for Summers in the game. Ryder Haight, Cowan Hybor take a seat as Schultz and O'Mara are in for the Bulldogs right here. We got some playing on senior night for each of them. They'll get back in here with 2:24 in the 4th. One more for Summers at the line. Too strong with that one. O'Mara tries to reach for the rebound. It's poked out of bounds. Last touch by the late arriving Noah Kelly. And Grandville keeps it baseline left with 2:22 in the 4th. 57-34, Grandville the lead. Postma to throw in. So for Grandville, it will be the winner of that West Ottawa-Zeeland West game, which West Ottawa led after 3 quarters. Summers bounds into the lane, left corner for Heckman. Left wing Postma. Up top, Will Schultz in between the rings. Dribbles to the right wing. Stops there. Feeds top of the key to Heckman. Swung to Postma left wing. Crossover dribble. Postma down the left side. Cut off right block. Feeds right wing Schultz. Jump pass. Left corner for O'Mara. O'Mara bounding into the lane. Floater over top of the defender short. Rebound to Summers. Summers right-hand shot. Rejected by Ferguson. Race to the corner for the rebound. Poked into the Grandville bench. Last touched by Holland. 1:54 in the 4th. That was Morin that got the last piece of it. It'll be a right corner inbound here for Boston Postma and the Bulldogs. Postma gets it back right corner. Drives the baseline. Reaching past left corner for O'Mara. Stops left wing. Gave it on to Schultz. Cut off left block. Poked out of bounds, and it was last touched by Will on its way out. and it will go back the other way with the Dutch. 1:41 in the fourth. Grandville 57, Holland 34. Another, if you're an OK Red fan, interesting score. Coopersville leading Grand Haven 31-28 after the third. Right block, turnaround shot. Wehrmeyer with a hook, misses short. Rebound down to Summers with 90 seconds and less. Schultz backing right block, feeds right wing for Summers with 1:18. Summers whips free throw line, O'Mara. Hook shot, actually wound up being a pass on to Heckman, no good. Put back, Heckman with two hands is good. Corbin Heckman, first points of the game, 59-34. We'll get a timeout. We'll get some substitutions on right here quickly. As Talon Luna and Ben Flutter, who each were called up for this game for Holland, will come into the game. Ferguson and Payne will each take a seat as they get applause as they will leave the floor for the final time in Dutch uniforms. Final minute of the fourth, 59-34 Grandville. It will be Luna to run the offense. Given up top here to Kelly. Got away from a charging Summers. Feeds left wing for Flutter. Flutter up fake at the free throw line. Hand off for Luna. Drives. Left corner. Wehrmeyer up top here for Flutter. Up fake. Dribble drive. Right corner on the Kelly. Gave a big pump fake. Drives into the lane. Left hand shot off the connector. No in the floater. Rebound down to Heckman in 45 seconds. Heckman running the floor. Spinning into the lane. Hook shot off the window. Falls short. Fight for the rebound and a collision. A foul is called against Josiah Morin and Holland. And that will send O'Mara to the line for 2. Or a 1-and-1. Check that. The foul will actually be on the floor. Sends O'Mara to the line for a 1-and-1. 8th team foul on the Dutch. First free throw. Got the friendly touch. That one hung on all corners of the rim. And goes for O'Mara. He has 1 point. It's 39.1 seconds to go in the fourth. And Grandville has crossed the 60-point threshold. One more for O'Mara. Off the connector, no good. Rebound down to Morin. Thrown over the timeline to Luna. Checked up there over the half-court line by Postma. Whips it right side to Kelly. Kelly, right corner to Flutter. Up fake. Giving on to Morin, top of the key. Morin bounding into the lane. Lost the handle. Regathers. Power dribble. Turn shot. Short. Fight for the rebound. Poked up 3-4 times. Eventually, O'Mara gets it out of there with 20 seconds. Here is Summers. 17 seconds to go. Summers going to slow it down, and it looks like Summers, as he throws left side to Postma, and the Bulldogs are ready to let the clock run out of this one. Grandville 60. Holland 34, your final. A dominant second half from the Bulldogs, and they're on their way to Wednesday night. Survive and advance, and Grandville is doing just that. Welcome into the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency postgame show. Grandville now 15-8 on the season, and they are moving on. A huge offensive performance from really kind of the big three scorers for them this year. Tyson Mann with 20, Logan Stockwell with 14, Cam Regneris also with 14, and they help turbocharge this Grandville attack. The defense obviously great as well, only giving up 34. On to the next round. They have that winner of that really tight game between Zeeland West and West Ottawa coming up. Will it be another rematch against West Ottawa, who the Bulldogs have beaten twice, or will it be Zeeland West and Merritt Aldrich, that big match against Cam Regneris coming up in that game? We've got a lot more to get to here on the Bates Agency postgame show. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back here from the Dutch Dome.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Can you identify your number one personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
All right, welcome back to the Dutch Dome here. Nate Dreyer with you. It is the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency postgame show. Grandville 60, Holland 34, your final. The Bulldogs move on to Wednesday night. Here's your scoring recap for Coach Theo and the Dutch. Omari Peak led all scorers for them with 10. Timo Phillips had 9. Cameron Ferguson with 5. Arthur Powell, the sophomore, with 6. And Jacob Van Hecken, the junior, had 4. For Grandville and Coach Young, Tyson Mann leading all scorers with 20. Quentin Hendrickson had 5. Logan Stockwell with 14. Ryder Haight with 3. Cam Regneris also comes away with 14. Summers and O'Mara each with 1. Corbin Heckman with 2. And now our Centennial Securities player of the game. We'll call it the MGN bump. Tyson Mann came on. He was our guest in the pregame show, and he went off, knocking down triples left and right. He comes away with 20 points. He pushes the Grandville attack over the edge and is a big part as the seniors helping move Grandville on to the next round. Again, it's West Ottawa versus Zeeland West. That game was a slight advantage for West Ottawa after 3. I have not yet seen an update from the final score of that one yet, so keep an eye on that because that is who Grandville will have in the next round. And we are back on the air in the next round as well, so make sure to stay tuned for what time we're on the air. It's likely a 5 o'clock on-air start time with 5:30 games beginning, and we'll have double header coverage, both games, the Grandville contest and the Hudsonville contest from Zeeland East on Wednesday, so make sure you tune in for that. All right, for everyone at Michigan Game Night, Michigan Sports Radio, including Chandler Timmer, even if he's not here tonight, I know he was tuning in throughout the evening. I am Nate Dreyer. Granville, big win. Big second half statement. They move on. They play Wednesday night. Make sure you stay tuned to the @MI Game Night social media channels for information when we're on air, but we're back on air with the doubleheader on Wednesday night from Zeeland East. We've got both semifinal games here in District 11. Do not go anywhere for that, or I cannot wait already to get there for the end of Wednesday because it is going to be an unbelievable doubleheader, one of the best doubleheaders I think you're going to find in the area. All right, we'll see you all then. Head over the timeline to Gable. Gable strikes to the basket, elevates, slams it down over top of Orbaugh. Oh my goodness, the tomahawk jam.
The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star in all the years.
Driver pounds the rock, looking for a passing lane. Got some motion going, got a right corner for Hagel. Pounded defensively by Dudley. Step back 3 for the lead. Buries it pure! Kobe Hagelin, 40-39 West Ottawa. A step back triple. Absolutely cold-blooded from Hagelin. Giving on to Titus. Titus angles, pull-up shot for the lead. Good! Brady Titus, a scream to the heavens after he knocks it down. And the Hudsonville Eagles are state champions for the first time in school history. They bob at center court. Head coach Casey Glass, in his 12th season, has taken the Eagles to the mountaintop. They are state champions. And it's the ultimate revenge for Tri-Unity. Another state championship for Coach Keeler's squad. The